Bill, based on your knowledge of the scriptures and what you talk about the leadership practices of Jesus, what are some of the struggles that come with the responsibility of money? And what kind of advice do you think, based on Jesus' practices, he would give to somebody whose life is aimed at becoming successful and wealthy?
Well, contrary to popular belief, Jesus did not preach against riches. Zacchaeus was a very rich man. Jesus went to his house to stay. Matthew was a tax collector. Jesus met with him, and they socialized together. Joseph of Arimathea, that's whose tomb Jesus was buried in. I mean, it was a brand new tomb that Joseph, a very wealthy man, gave to put Jesus in. What Jesus taught about was the love of riches is the root of all evil. Not having riches. And just like when he gave advice to the rich young ruler, he said, unless you're willing to give all this up for me, then you're not worthy of being in my kingdom. But he wasn't speaking against riches. He was talking about the love of riches. As I've shared with you many times before, Philip, the best thing we can be for the poor is not one of them. Because if we're not one of those people who are poor, we can fund a lot of good projects. Also, I believe God wants us to enjoy a good life. I believe he wants us to have adequate food and shelter and clothing. I believe he wants us to live well. Because he talks about mansions, in heaven there's going to be many mansions. Well, why would he talk about that if there wasn't something important about us being successful? Some of the, God, one of the richest men ever to live was Job. And Jesus, obviously Jesus as God on earth, he loved Job. And then you had Solomon, whose riches were, you couldn't even count his riches. These were guys that God ordained. And so I believe Jesus wants us to be successful.